America is facing something deeply disturbing because a well-known media host just said on air that Jeffrey Epstein wasn't dangerous, he was just into 15-year-olds. And hearing that out loud forces us to confront something bigger, a culture that has spent years softening wrongdoing against young people, rewriting definitions, and protecting powerful men when they are wealthy or connected. Because 15 is not close enough. 15 is not an adult. And the idea that a man in his 50s somehow becomes less responsible because the victim was older should terrify every parent and every survivor. So stay with me, because this is not about one sentence. This is about the system that protected Epstein long before the world knew his name. When she said Epstein didn't fit a certain definition because the girls were 15 and not 8, she wasn't clarifying anything. She was moving the moral line, acting as if adding a few years changes the fundamental harm. And that mindset is exactly how people like Epstein survive. They depend on society convincing itself that older teenagers understand, that 15 is not that young, that these situations are somehow mutual. And that is how young people are slowly reframed as willing participants instead of victims of pressure and power imbalance. Here's the question that America must confront. Why would a woman with influence minimize something she herself would never accept for her own child? Because this is not about defending Epstein, this is about defending the worldview that allowed him to exist in the first place. Epstein didn't wake up one day with a private island and a roster of powerful guests. He built his operation slowly by targeting girls who were vulnerable, offering money, access, and influence, creating situations where they felt trapped. And back in the early 2000s, Palm Beach investigators uncovered dozens of young victims, all describing the same pattern. Yet despite all the evidence, he walked away with one of the most controversial plea deals in modern American history. A deal so secret the victims weren't even informed. A deal that let him serve 13 months mostly outside jail on so-called work release. And even after that, he kept traveling, kept meeting powerful men, kept receiving protection ordinary people would never see. His client list sealed, his connections preserved. And when he finally died, the cameras failed, the guards slept, and the most talked about inmate in the country disappeared from accountability forever. And here's another question America should ask. If the system went that far to protect one man, what else has been hidden from the public? When someone says he preferred 15-year-olds, not little kids, they aren't giving nuance. They are shifting blame away from the adult and onto the young person. They are reframing harm as preference. They are turning a crime into a misunderstanding. And this is the exact type of language men like Epstein use to justify their actions. It is the mindset that protected him for decades. And when a media personality repeats that logic on camera, it reveals something chilling. That parts of America still do not see 15-year-olds as children. Epstein didn't survive because he was clever. He survived because people with power softened the language around him, minimized his actions, and dismissed victims as confused teenagers, while framing Epstein as someone who made mistakes. And today, the same pattern is repeating when voices with influence publicly lower the moral bar, creating space for other powerful men to escape accountability. Because the scariest part is not that Epstein existed. The scariest part is that millions still defend men like him using the exact same excuses. So here is the real question. If society can excuse a man who abused his power over young girls by saying she was 15, then who else are we protecting? Who else are we shifting the blame away from? And how many victims have been ignored because someone with influence convinced the public that harm becomes acceptable when a child looks old enough or sounds confident enough? And that is the lie powerful men rely on. Because Epstein's victims were not older teens. They were young, they were vulnerable, and no amount of spin can ever change that truth. If you are still watching, you already understand that this story is not over. Because the moment we allow powerful people to rewrite morality is the moment we allow the same patterns to rise again. So tell me what you think in the comments, and stay with me for the next True Talk analysis. Because the deeper we go, the clearer it becomes that this was never just about Epstein. This was about the culture that protected him. This is True Talk, where we do not excuse the inexcusable and we do not stay silent.